Hello students, I welcome you all to Current Affair lectures by AZAD ICS Academy, and today we are going to see the current affairs of 9th December 2024. So before we go into the details, let us see one of the questions that we discussed yesterday. Why there is opposition to tungsten mining project in Madurai? The most important reason that we have here is environmental and cultural impact on biodiversity heritage sites. The people are basically, worried about the ancient temples that are being present, and they're also worried about the impact on the biodiversity like flora and fauna that are present over there. Now, today we are going to understand some more important topics here, that is gamifying India's skill initiatives. So we need to understand that India is facing significant amount of unemployment challenges, that there are a lot of people who are not getting employment opportunities, okay, with pressing needs to create 78.5 non-farm jobs annually by 2030 to accommodate its growing workforce. So we need to understand that there are different, challenges that we are facing. So we need to create around 78.5 lakh non-farm jobs, okay, annually by 2030 so that we can accommodate its growing workforce. Bridging the gap between the skill and the job seeker and industry need is crucial to tackle this issue. So we need to understand that the people who are not getting employed, we need to make sure that they're getting skills. And what skills? The same skills that the job givers or the industries are also requiring. So this gap needs to be built, and that is supposed to be done, and that is why we are having gamifying India's skill initiative. Okay, despite having robust skilling framework, the reach and effectiveness of India's skill program is limited. Only a small percentage of youth receive vocational and training, and employment amongst the graduates is low. So what you need to understand is that even though we have so many initiatives, a very less number of people, okay, very less number of youth are only being able to get all these trainings, and only they are becoming employable. Okay, so we'll see what are our country doing better, or what are the initiatives that can be done better so that we can increase the number of people who are getting employment, right? The first thing is rising unemployment challenge. So we have to understand that how much people, are unemployed and what we need to do. The economic survey of 2023-2024 emphasizes that there is a need of India to create. See, look, we need to create how many non-farm jobs is these many non-farm jobs means they are not working in farm and they're working somewhere else. That kind of jobs should be 78.5 lakh non-farm jobs needs to be created annually until 2030. It is crucial to observe rapid growth of workforce and prevent unemployment from accelerating further. So we do not want unemployment to happen further. So for that, we need to create these many non-farm jobs up to 2023 annually. Okay. Skill and industry gaps. See, there is a lot of challenge and the mismatch between the skills of the job seekers and the requirement of the industries. Bridging this gap is essential to effectively address unemployment and ensure that the job seekers are equipped for available positions. So we need to understand if there is any position that is available and that the person is not getting skilled, and industry want the same person or a person with the same skill. It is very difficult, for such kind of people to get job. So we need to understand and we need to make sure that that industry gap is basically being filled. So whatever requirements are there and whatever skills are there need to match. So this is something that we need to understand. But that is missing here. You can see there is a significant mismatch between the skills and the requirements that the industries have. Now, current skilling landscape, currently what all is happening, we have to understand that. Existing framework, India has structured framework for vocational training, technical training. However, the impact is limited only up to 21% of the youth aged from 15 to 29 have received any form of training, highlighting the need of more inclusive approach. So you need to understand that only 21% of the youth, that means out of every 100 youth, only 21 youth can, get this particular kind of what you meant to say vocational training. So what about the remaining people? Right. So this is something which is very, very important. And we need to understand that there should be proper inclusion that needs to happen. Formal training gaps. The periodic labor force uh, survey 2022-23 notes that only 44.4% of the youth receive formal training. This indicates the significant deficiency in structural training programs that direct correlate with employment ability. Means we need to understand that the training that is happening, formal training that is happening is very, very less in India. Only 4.4% of the youth are able to receive the formal training. And here you can see that how much people are not getting skilled in India. So employability concerns also. According to Chief Employee Advisory, only 51% of the graduations are deemed employable. That means, for example, if there are 100 engineering students, out of 100, only 51 people can be, getting employed, or only they can be employed. The remaining 49 people are not getting employed, or they are not deemed to be employable. Suggest gap in the equality and the relevance of training provided. So whatever training that is being provided is very, very, not up to the mark. Okay, and the relevance that they have given, or whatever training that they've given, is not relevant to the industry. So these are some of the issues that we have. Budget priorities also we need to check. The 2024-2025 budget focuses on improving skill programs, quality, and aligning training with industry needs, reflecting the policy shift towards addressing skill gap effectivity. So this is happening, or this is this year's project budget. Let us see how it works. But we are trying to make sure that the training is aligned with the industry needs, and we're also trying to reflect the policy shift towards addressing skills and gaps effectively. Anyways, industry 4.0. Okay, industry 4.0 needs, what is it exactly? Okay, how we have to understand that there should be skill development. First thing is, as we are transitioning to industry 4.0, there is a demand for skill and advancement technology. So we have to understand that we are coming up with different technologies such as AI is there, robotics is there, IoT is nothing but Internet of Things. These are critical for digital transformation in industry. I'll just like to give you an example. When I was doing engineering, right, the processor that we studied was microprocessor, some number, which was very, very old in, like long back, this processor was being there, right? And the projects that we did were based on IoT. Okay, so that is Internet of Things, or it was done based on other different processes. So the processors on which we were working and the processes that we was taught to us during our engineering had no link at all. So we need to understand that as we're transitioning from one industrial level to the another industrial level, we need to understand that a lot of people need to get equipped with AI tools. So you can see on YouTube also a lot of people are, doing this. That is, I have learned chat GBT, I have learned AI tools, and my salary package is this much. I don't need any kind of degree and all of that. So you see how there is advancement of technology, how AI is taking away all our jobs. So this is something that we need to understand. For this, we also need to understand that this particular artificial intelligence, whatever chat GBT is there, it's not 100% accurate. So please understand this. There is always a need of human intervention. So whatever data that is given, or whatever content that is given by chat GBT is not 100% accurate. What you need to do here is you need to also, do your analysis. So for this, you need to understand how to use this particular AI or robotics. Okay, so this will help in digital transformation of industry. Manufacturing transformation also. It is expected that the two-thirds of Indian manufacturers will go digital transformation by 2025, necessitating the workforce scaled to new age technology. So we need to understand that the manufacturers should also go in digital transformation. Whatever manual things are happening, all of that should happen in digital platform, so that we can be able to easily check how many number of people are getting employed, how many issues are being there, and how these issues can be addressed easily. Okay, necessitating the workforce skilled to new age technology. Now, skilled workforce shortage. See, only 1.5% of Indian engineers have a skill required for new age jobs. As I already told you, only 1.5 people. So imagine that how less the number is, okay, for new age. And only 60% of the MSME workforce lack digital skills. So 60% of the MSME workforce lacks digital skills, illustrating the major skill gap. So these are some of the issues that we have. See, look, only 1.5% of the engineers. I already gave you an example over here. The microprocessor that we have studied and what is happening in the current is completely different. Okay. Then we have Samarth Udyoga Bharat 4.0. It is an initiative that is prepared, aims to prepare industries for Industry 4.0. However, the challenge lies in equipping the workforce with relevant skills to utilize these advancements. So anyways, we are trying to have this initiative so that all the industries are getting prepared to use these AI tools and all of that. But anyways, the challenge is that the workforce are not getting relevant skills. So this is one of the another important challenge that we have over here. The next important thing is innovative skill approaches. What can we do? Gamify learning. This approach uses game elements like rewards, challenges, and engaged learnings, thereby increasing motivation and performance. So what we are going to do is whatever learning is there. See, if I show you some important animations, if I show you some kind of videos, and if I make you understand, then it will be easier for you to understand whatever you're learning. Similarly, gamified learning is nothing but what we're trying to do here is we will be trying to use a game kind of approach. So whatever is being learned, you will be learning it in the form of game. And whenever you win any challenge, what will happen is you will be able to earn something. So this will increase the motivation and performance, and the people can learn with more interactivity and enjoyable, which can make the learning better and also the retention of the skills. So you will be able to retain these skills for a longer period of time. Okay. Then apart from this, we also have simulation-based learning. Provide a virtual environment for learners to gain hands-on experience. See, if I have an AI, so I need to make sure that if I just tell you how to do it, it's not correct. You also need to give some kind of virtual environment. That is, a false environment wherein you can go on, check, and experience. This method enhances critical thinking and practical skills. See, for example, if I am asking you to write a code, you're just writing it on the paper. If I give you an environment, if you're able to run this code and check whether the code is correct or not, here you will get more experience, more, confidence that you will be able to do all the skills, right? So this method enhances critical thinking, practical skills, allowing the learners to experiment and learn from their mistakes without a real world consequence. So here, when you're writing a program, what is happening is you're just seeing how the program runs. Here it is not the real world, it's just the virtual world. So here it's okay to make mistakes. And here you will be able to identify what are your mistakes, you will be able to correct them as well. Global examples, countries like Singapore, Germany have successfully integrated these methods into their education system, leading to improved outcomes and skill acquisition and application. So many other countries are doing it. So probably India's method will also, or if India is implementing this method, then it will be very, very useful for people to get skilled. Right? Implementation in India. Government platforms are also there. Platforms like Swayam and the Skill Digital India Hub can incorporate gamified and simulation-based modules. And these are some important, what you mean to say, platforms wherein you can get some skill development programs. Okay, Swayam offers around 4,000 courses with high completion rates in engineering and physical sciences, showing its potential delivery effective training. So here we are understanding what is Swayam's reach. Okay, and similarly, Skill India Digital Hub as of June 2024. Okay, SIDH offers, that is nothing but Skill India Development Hub offers 752 online courses with substantial amount of digital content, indicating its capacity to support diverse learning needs. So you need to understand that a lot of people are not even aware of this. There are so many kind of digital platforms that you have wherein you can acquire all the important skills that is required. Customized modules are also there. These platforms can develop modules that address specific skill gaps, enable trainees to tackle real world challenges and projects, thereby enhancing their employability. Industrial alignment, by utilizing these trained individuals, industries can ensure the strong alignment between the training and the employment, reducing the skill gap. So whatever skill gap is that can be reduced when these things are being, utilized in a proper manner. And you need to understand that the trained individuals are very, very important for the industrial development. Next important topic that we're going to discuss is the Oil Field Amendment Bill 2024. So the Oil Field Regulation and Development Amendment Bill 2024, a significant legislative update aimed to modernize the regulatory framework governing oil and gas operations in India. So whatever oil and gas operations that we have in India, to make it better, we have come up with Oil Field Amendment Bill 2024. Now we'll see what is it, what is the context, what is the background regarding the same. So it is the Oil Field Regulation and Development Act of 1948, initially managed by both Oil and Mineral Corporation. However, evolving needs of oil and gas sector necessitated more focus on approach of this regulation. Now, what is this amendment, or what is the objectivity of this particular amendment? The bill seeks to separate the regulation of petroleum from mining. So here you need to understand, from this act of 1948, you can see that oils and minerals are operated together. But right now in the amendment, what we need to understand is the bill is trying to separate the regulation of petroleum from mining activities, aligning the legal framework with contemporary requirements. So whatever requirements are there at the current time in the modern world, to boost domestic production and reduce import dependency, we are trying to, have a separate, what you mean to say, acts for petroleum and separate for mining. Now, definition of mineral oil. Okay, what are the key provisions that we have? The bill provides a comprehensive definition of what is the meaning of a mineral oil. It includes hydrocarbons like crude oil, natural gas, and various forms of petroleum. It specifically excludes resources such as coal, lignite, helium. So you need to understand these are all coming under mines and mineral, and they'll not be coming under oil field basically. Okay, so here we are trying to define the meaning of a mineral oil. Here the mineral oil are those oils, okay, which are like hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are those carbon compounds which consist of carbon and hydrogen only. Okay, they're hydrocarbons. You have studied of this in chemistry, in general chemistry, what are hydrocarbons? They're organic compounds basically. So crude oil, your natural gas, all these are, or all the other various forms of petrol are called as mineral oils. Now, apart from this, whatever coal you are getting, lignite, helium, all these are or whichever anything that is associated with coal or shale. Now that will be governed by Mines and Mineral Act and not by Oil Field Bill, okay, or not by Oil Field Regulating Act, Development and Regulating Act, right? So this is something that we need to understand. Now, petroleum leases. The bill replaces mining leases with petroleum leases, covering activities such as prospecting, exploring, and developing and production and disposal of these mineral oils. So here we are not going to do mine leasing with petrol leasing. So we are going to replace whatever mine leases were there, that with petroleum leases. So we are going to replace this. And why are we doing this? So that we are making sure that whatever activities such as prospecting, exploration, that is removing, finding out where this mine is, exploring, developing, production, and how are we disposing this, all of this is done under petroleum leases. Now, private investment and lease protection. See, encourage private sector involvement by safeguarding existing mine leases. So lease is something, I hope all of you understand what is the meaning of a lease here. Lease is nothing but, for the example, there's a place and that place is under a control for a particular person for maybe period of time, and that is called a lease, right? And providing guarantee against adverse changes during the lease period as well. So if there are any changes that are there, the guarantee is given through these private investment as well. So you need to understand, if there are more private sectors, more scrutiny will happen, more regulation will also happen. Criminal penalties for violation are replaced with higher financial penalties. So whatever penalties were there, first they were criminal penalties, now we are going to do higher financial penalties, creating more investment friendly environment. So if finance is supposed to be given, then automatically people will try to make sure that the regulations are being followed properly. If it is criminal penalty, then people will easily come out somehow. But if it is financial penalty, a lot of money can come in, and there will be proper investment friendly environment. Apart from this, what are the criticisms and concerns that we have? Impact on the state rights. See, critics argue that the shift of focus from mining lease to petroleum lease might diminish state powers. So basically, you're taking the mining lease and putting petroleum lease. So what are you trying to do is you're taking away the powers of the state regarding taxation, royalty collection, and petroleum activities. So you're trying to overpower, or you're trying to reduce the power of states, right? This could centralize control under union, aligning with entry 53 of union list. Okay, so these, all of you know that we have three lists, right? Union list, state list, and concurrent list. So this could centralize control the union, aligning with entry 53 of the union list, which has raised concern about reduced state autonomy. So what will happen is, if we are trying to involve petroleum lease instead of mining lease, what would happen here is the state autonomy would reduce, and this is one of the impact. Now, environmental risk. Increased private sector participation would lead to concerns about environmental safeguard, because private sector is only going to think about the profit, and they never going to think about the environment or the culture. So something this is of a concern. There is a high push for prioritized public sectors such as ONGC, which typically have stricter environmental oversights compared to private companies. So we need to understand that we need to push, or we need to privatize public sector enterprises, okay, instead of having private entities. Demand of greater scrutiny. Some opposition leaders are also calling this, or have called this bill to be reviewed by select committee. So they are telling that we need to have a select committee. This committee will basically review this particular bill, citing potential impacts of federal structure and state interests. So as I already told you that this bill is going to impact the state powers. So there are many opposition leaders who have told that we need to have a select committee for this particular issue, right? Select. So here I want you to understand what is the meaning of a select committee. Select committee is referred to as a parliamentary system, or a committee that is made up of. So basically in the parliamentary system, it is a committee that is made up of a small number of all the parliamentary members. Okay, so people who are there in the parliamentary, all the parliamentary members, a small group of parliamentary members that are appointed to deal a particular area or issue. Okay, so any issue is there. For example, this is the issue now. Here they are saying that the issue that it could be is that this particular bill can impact the federal structure. So they are asking to make a small committee, that is a select committee, so that this committee will only think about this particular issue, whether this bill is, taking away the federal structure and state interest, right? Now, conclusion and significance. See, policy shift. The bill represents a significant policy shift aiming enhancing domestic petroleum production and fostering private investment. See, always depending on public is very bad, or always depending on the public entity is really not correct. So we need to understand that there is private investment requirement, and also we need to make sure that the domestic petrol production is being increased. And for this bill is playing a very important role. Now, apart from this, we also need to understand the energy access and scrutiny. It aims to ensure energy access, security, and affordability of reducing import dependence. So we need to understand that for energy, we need to not depend on import, and to increase domestic production itself, what we need to understand is we need to find out different forms of energy. Investment and technology. Attract investment to infuse capital and technology. Promote ease of doing business and exploration prospects. So whatever exploration is done, how are we going to get this particular petroleum exploration process? So for that, we need to make sure that we're getting a lot of investments. Energy transition supports the transition to next generation clean fuels, aligning with global sustainable development. So we need to also understand that there should be transition to the next generation. So as you have to see that we should stop using petroleum and use hybrid models wherein electricity vehicles or the vehicles which are running on electricity, such kind of sustainable development goals should be done so that we are aligning this particular transition. Enforcement mechanism. Establish a robust enforcement mechanism to ensure compliance with the new regulations. So whatever new regulations are there, we need to understand that the mechanism is proper with the same. Now, the last but important topic that we have to understand here is that foreign direct investment inflow into India across $1 trillion. Okay, so here we need to understand India reaches over $1 trillion in foreign direct investment, the FDI inflow from April 2000 to September 2024. It is a significant milestone underscoring the position of an attractive investment destination. See, foreign direct investment will only happen if the country's policies are good. So here you need to understand that India is getting $1 trillion from foreign direct investment from April 2000 to September 2024. So it is a very important event. So we'll understand about this. Now, what is it basically talking about? So cumulative FDI inflow. The total FDI inflow, including equity, reinvestment shares, or earnings and other capital amount is this much billion. Okay, this makes significant achievement reflecting India's growth appeal to global investors. That means, see, if I am investing in a particular country or if I'm investing in a particular company, if I'm getting more investments, that means this particular entity is basically growing. So this is basically showing us that India is growing towards global investors. That means the global investors are looking forward to invest in India. This is something that you need to understand. If we are getting more amount of inflow, that means the condition in India for an investment is good. Global investment designations. The milestone reinforcement India's reputation and as a safe and preferred investment location worldwide. That means, as I already told you, if I'm investing in a particular country, that means it is having a very good reputation. Here you can see that global investment designations, here most of the people want to invest in India because here they are going to get profit and here they will be able to get the returns also. Okay. Investors view India as a stable and promising market for long-term investment. I already told you that in India, the population is very high. The people are very, what you can say, they are acceptable and they can give a lot of market for a longer period of time. If you see, it is having a very promising market. Now, report by Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. The report, these figures indicate robust investors' confidence in India. So you need to understand that there is a report that is given by Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, and they are saying that these figures are, indicating robust investors' confidence. So that means what is happening here is the investors' confidence is very, very high because of this, especially where in Indian economy, and that is the reason that we are getting these much amount of foreign direct investments. Now, factors that are driving why a lot of foreign direct investments are happening in India. This is something that is of a need that we need to understand here. See, economic reforms. So as we have to understand that India is, doing a lot of economic reforms, right? And because of this, so India's consistent growth in FDI has been facilitated by ongoing reforms. So improving business environment. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to, do a lot of reforms, improving the business environment. Initiatives to enhance ease of doing business have made India more attractive foreign investors. So because we're trying to do a lot of business in an easy manner, okay? So because of this, what is happening? A lot of investors are able to come into India. This is economic reforms. Market potential. So as I already told you that India is having a lot of people. So large consumer base, growing middle class present, and sustain subsistence market potential, attracting investment across various sectors. We have to understand that a lot of people, middle class people, are growing here, and because of this, what is happening? A lot consumer base, large consumer base. That is the reason that the market is very huge, and if the market is very huge, then the investment will always be profitable. Sectoral attractiveness. Key sectors receiving significant FDI include service, computers, or software, telecommunication, and construction. So these are some of the important places where we are receiving. Please mark this because sometimes UPSC may ask you which are the important key sectors which is receiving significant amount of FDI. Which of the following? They may write computer, software, telecommunication, and construction. So these are some of the important places where we are getting foreign direct investment. These sectors benefit from technological advancement, increased demand, and support government policies. Economic growth and stability. So you need to understand that there is a lot of economic growth in India. There is a political stability, further enhances India's attractiveness as an investment destination. Now, investors are assured of stable policy environment and sustained economic progress in India, and that is the reason they are able to invest in India. The significance of for India. So how is it significant? Now, obviously, the influx of FDI contributes significantly to economic development. Obviously, there will be economic development, there will be job creation, infrastructure development will happen. Technology will also see, FDI will not just bring capital, but it will also bring technology, expertise, foster innovation, and enhance competitiveness. And high-level FDI integration indicate India's increased integration into global economy, enhancing its stand in its international market. So if we are getting more amount of FDI, that means we are very good at global economy. We can also enhance our international markets, right? So this is something that we need to understand from this particular article. Now let us see some of the questions for today. What is a key objective of Oil Field Amendment Bill 2024? Increase reliance on oil import, separate the regulation of petroleum from mining activities, nationalize all oil fields, reduce private sector participation. So please read this Oil Field Amendment Bill. As I already told you, if we see in future, if we are getting some more information about this, I will also make a video on that as well. For now, just understand basically what is this bill about. Try to put your answer in the comment section. Now let us see the second question that I have put here. That is, which sector has attracted significant FDI in India? So out of this, I already told you such question will come in UPSC. So here I have given you only, option based, but there you may get, only one, only two, or all of the above based questions. So try to answer these two questions in the comment box. Please put in your link, put in your comments. Also put in your feedbacks if you have any, positive feedback, negative feedback. So try to put in. We will take positive feedback in an optimistic manner and negative feedback in a better manner. We'll try to increase our potential, and we'll also try to increase whatever negatives that we have. Maybe it could be the issue with the pace, or maybe it could be the issue with going in detail or in depth. Okay, so because I have a limited period of time, I will try to include a lot of content, right? And I really don't want to overburden everyone with everything, right? So you need to understand what to basically study. So from the current affairs, what I'm trying to tell you here is that the question will not come on the data facts here. You need to understand from that particular topic, what are the things that we need to study, right? So please put in your comments, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, everyone.